Hello YouTube friends, Dr. Teresa here again. Today I wanted to do an updated video on preparing for vacation, and basically the rest of this video is leaving instructions for my caretaker of the seahorses. So as we prepare for day one of the vacation, you're going to see that in the morning there'll be a routine that you follow pretty much the same each morning with a slight variation. I recommend first that you rinse your hands very well just to get residue off of it and not introduce anything into the tank. You don't need to use soap or anything like that. And then you'll notice that there are hatching dishes underneath the aquarium on the bottom part of the stand, and they're both already filled with prepared seawater at the right level. You're going to go into the refrigerator and get the container with brine shrimp, and using the little scoop that's on the aquarium stand, not the bigger scoop that comes with the brine shrimp container, you're going to spread out 2 servings of the little scoop on the outside circle. You're going to look at where those words close and open are and align them up where that exit tube is that extends out from the dish, and cover it. And that will sit there until the next day. You won't need to touch it again. Then you use the blue sieve, grab some brine shrimp out of the enriching vessel. You're going to rinse that off very well with cold water, and then kind of concentrating it in one location so it's easier to add to the aquarium. And when you get to the aquarium, you're going to have to move the light fixture so it's out of the way and you can open the lid without obstruction. Gently add the brine shrimp. Make sure that you get as much as possible off of the sieve. Shake it to get the excess water off, close the lid, and then put the light back where it was, towards the middle of the tank. Rinse the sieve off with some cool water, and then you're going to dip it into the mixture of water that has a drop of soap in it just to keep it extra clean and prevent a buildup of germs. And give it one more rinse to get off any residue, and just put the sieve and the soap water by the tank where you found it. The evening's a little bit more complicated. This is going to require, if you're kind enough to do it, a vacuuming of the bottom of the tank. So you'll notice the equipment is out: bucket, couple of pitchers, a mini pitcher, siphoning equipment, turkey baster. So you'll grab the turkey baster, and first thing is you're just going to gently, in little pulses, blow off anything that might be stuck to the plants or decorations. Then we have this really cool siphoning tube, and you're going to see it's got a little protective shield at the bottom. It's got a control valve that allows me to adjust the flow, and I have it set at a good level now, and a squeeze bulb. And with just 1 or 2 squeezes, the siphon will start, and then you just start vacuuming the tank. The hose does need to be in the tank to start the siphon, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but just wherever you see any waste or anything that looks like that needs to be cleaned out, go ahead and do that. And when you're finished, bring everything over to the sink and just check the hoses and the tubes to make sure that there are no seahorses or babies stuck in there, and then check the bucket for the same thing. You'll also notice that there are 2 big buckets. The big blue one is labeled brine shrimp, that has prepared seawater using tap water. And then there's the bucket with the purple lid that says seahorse tank, and that's prepared seawater using specially filtered water. So you're going to replenish the water that you took out of the aquarium using the seahorse tank water, and it might take 1 or 1.5, maybe even up to 2 pitchers, depending on how much vacuuming you ended up doing, and you'll just gently pour it into the tank. It'll seem a little bit slow, but you don't want to pour it so fast that it disturbs plants or disrupts the seahorses in any way. Then you're going to get the food, but you're going to do it a different way, because we're going to do a mini water change, more or less, on the enrichment vessel. So take the mini pitcher, dip it into the mini enrichment vessel, pour the water into the blue sieve, and that looks like a good amount of brine to add to the tank. Again, you'll rinse it, you'll move the light to open the lid, and then you're going to add the brine to the tank as you did in the morning. Shake it off, close the lid, and then we need to replenish some of that water in the vessel. So go in the refrigerator and you're going to find this homemade green water. It's made of different algae. Oh, there's my dog LJ. He's interested in what's going on too and giving everything a good sniff. And you're going to add a little bit of this green water until there's a slight tint of green to the vessel. You're going to notice the vessel smells kind of weird. There's nothing wrong with that. That's totally normal. You can continue to use that water and the food in there. And then you're going to dip the little pitcher into the brine shrimp water bucket and add enough water to about just underneath where that elastic band is holding the hose in place. Day 2 is going to look very similar. In the morning, you'll do the same thing with one extra step. You'll notice the one hatching dish where you added brine has some brine swimming around. So you can go ahead and pull out the sieve for that dish, shake it off a little bit, and then you're going to put it under some tap water to rinse it off, some cold tap water. And you're going to add that to the enrichment vessel. And in that way, there's constantly brine shrimp getting enriched and newly added. The rest of the day is pretty much the same as day 1. And once again, day 3 will be very similar to the previous days, but now you're going to add brine shrimp to the second hatching dish. Just do the exact same thing. Use the little scoop, add 2 scoops to the outside edge or ring, put the lid on, and for the next couple of days, both of those dishes are going to be producing brine, and you'll be adding those to that enrichment container. Just continue following the same steps from the previous days and do the best you can with whatever you're comfortable with. Reach out to me if you need anything or have any questions. And thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. See you soon.